Good afternoon. Street switch. Back down Asfordby Road golf course. And the reason I'm here, well, the reason I'm here is because there's a church very close to this place, and after Sunday's fiascos, and I didn't get the photos I wanted from the other church, which I will be doing again. I will be going back to that place next Sunday to take some photos, and hopefully that woman will be there, the one that told me to stop recording and taking photos because you're not allowed to take photos in public, blah blah blah. Where, fucking shut up. I'm back down here because there's an old church down here. This reminds me of St Bartholomew's Church, which we haven't done yet, but I will be doing that one in the very near future. And also I want to take a walk round Rhubarb Island and places like that and actually get some photos. I fixed my camera. The SD card was corrupt. Somehow got corrupted in the process of me taking photos at the church over in, where was it? Kirby Bellas. Now somebody pointed out to me that I said something on that video which I didn't realise what it meant, because I'm uneducated, if you want to put it like that. I said detriment, and I shouldn't have said that because that means horrible. What I meant to say was that church is an asset to Kirby Bellas. That's what I should have said, but I didn't say. But what I could have, should have, would have, whatever, that's been corrected now. I apologise. I did not mean to say what I said. Anyway, let's get down and do some photography on this absolutely glorious day. It's nice. There's a lovely breeze. There's a fucking jumbo jet of a bumblebee there. Don't come near me. Fuck me, that's massive. Flying around, minding his own business. Anyway, yeah, let's get some photos taken. Let's go and have a walk round that church and see what it's all about. See you in a minute. So here we are on the golf course. There's a couple of people playing golf and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and watch where the bloody golf balls are going. I don't want to get knocked out by a fucking golf ball, do I? But yeah, here's that church. Here's the entrance to the church, and there's a little gap in the fence here that you can walk through. Now this is a nice little church. It's got a wonderful tree in here. I think the tree's actually dead. I'm not 100% sure. But it says here, public notice on the gate. We'll read the public notice. We are currently undertaking safety inspection of all the memorials. It hasn't got a date on it, and that's Melton Borough Council. But it looks like this one's very well kept. As you can see. Beautiful churchyard. Absolutely stunning. Now this is a very old church as well. Obviously most churches are old. But I want to go right over here into this corner. And I'll show you why. Because I want to get a photo of that tree and the church in the same picture. Because it reminds me of the Munsters. They used to have a big gnarly tree parked right next to the house. You'll see what I mean in a minute. That just there, look. What do you think to that? Gravestones involved, we've got a nice church there, we've got a little bit of cloud going on in the sky, and then that tree that just leans over. Now this is a very small church, it's quite minute. But I'll grab a few photos and let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you in a minute when I've got this photo. Have a look at this business. Now, as always, I'm going to be taking a look at some of the gravestones down here and stuff, see if there's dates on them and stuff like that. We've got 1944, some more recent ones, but at some point I'm going to be doing a little bit of research to find out which is the oldest gravestone actually in here. I don't know whether they'd have been taken down. I mean, some of them have been worn away by the weather, as you can see, and everything else. There's still people that come down and tend to these plots. It looks well looked after. This is near Mansion Gardens. So it's quite a well-to-do area. There's this one here, 1948, I think that one says. 1 minute. 1948, 1952, 1957, and this one's got the top missing off of it. But again, another peaceful area, another area that I like to take photos in. Now there's many different options down here for photos, believe it or not. It might just look like, you know, a few gravestones at a church, but I'm not sure what sort of church this is. I don't know whether it's Church of England, whether it's Baptist, I don't know. But I've just spotted this gravestone over here. There's a couple that have fell over, ones that have fallen off the plinths. 1934. Yeah, there's some really old ones. Now I think the older ones are actually closer to the church itself. I mean, it's a nice church. Again, we're seeing the same brickwork that we've seen on the other church on Sunday, when that woman decided that she was going to have a go at me and tell me not to video and take photos in public. Well, I am, and if you don't like it, fuck off. Very old windows. Now I'm going to be taking some photos through the windows as well, I think, of the church. They've got some lovely stained glass windows here. I haven't actually zoomed in on anything. But this is like a small village. It's not a village, but it's like a small village. Just outside of Melton, there's a gravestone here. I believe that's a gravestone. A very small one at that. But I like to take a walk round and look at the stained glass windows and stuff, because there's some absolutely beautiful stained glass windows down here. Here's some older ones. 1921. I'm going to get a photo of this here. This quirky little door. Again, they all seem to have these quirky little doors, don't they? Now there's some broken gravestones here that haven't been sorted out, but there's a grave here from 1904 and 1915, so over 100 years old. But I believe this church is a good few years older than that. Way older than that, I believe. I mean, you're just 1915, apparently. That's not very old. It's older than that, surely. This church is definitely older than 1915. Look at the stonework. For God's sake, it's way older than that. I don't believe that this was made in 1915. No chance. I mean, there was a grave back there, 1904, so yeah, it's definitely older than 1915. Let me get a photo of this door. That's a new door, and we'll see how it looks. So it's entirely up to the person that thinks that a certain photo makes a good photo or not. I've just found this. That's now sunk. That cross has sunk into the ground, obviously fell off that plinth just there, and just been left there to sink into the ground, along with the person that's actually buried there, bless them. Now we've got moss and all sorts going on here. I'm going to get a picture of this row just here. This has all been concreted, and I'm just wondering why this has been concreted. Are these World War veterans? I believe they are, because there's all these poppy things like that. Look, there's all these poppy things laying around. 1966, which is this end one here, in memory of, you can read that. I'll leave it there a second so you can read it, if you're into this sort of stuff like me. I believe these are veterans, and that one's actually fell over and just completely fell to pieces. Look at that. That's a shame. And just been left like that. But anyway, I'm going to get a photo of this down this angle and include it in the video if I can. There's another one, a massive one that's fell over there, look. There's some very interesting stuff in here. But I'm going to get that picture there. I might do it from one of these corners like that sort of thing. You'll see what I mean. Have a look at this photo, let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll go from there. So I have tried getting a photo of inside, but it's too dark because it's in this shade here. There's no sunlight actually going in there. I'll see what I can do with the photo I actually got. I think it's going to be underexposed by a country mile, but I've just found another photo, and that's of this, one second, this just here, this grave that's fell off its plinth and buried itself in the ground like that. Now that's the sort of thing I'm looking for, are these wonky graves, these wonky sort of off-balance graves and stuff like that, because I just find it interesting over the years how they actually end up. And somebody does take a lot of care in this churchyard, as you can see. I am zoomed all the way out. But what a lovely churchyard. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful here. It's a walk through as well. You can walk down this path here and go to Mansion Gardens. But again, I'll get a couple of photos of the actual spire of the church as well. Maybe from here. Maybe not, I don't know. But again, no one's had a go at me so far for taking photos in a graveyard. And I think this would make a good photo as well, just looking through there, through the hedge, or through this bit of bush there, down there like that, sort of from quite up high, and get some of this greenery either side in it. And try and incorporate that as well somehow. I don't know how, but we'll have a look. Let me move this stick out of the way for a start, and we'll see what I can get. I'm not promising anything spectacular, as I never do, but I'll give it a go. So the problem I'm having at the minute is there's so many different angles I could take photos from in here. It's unbelievable. And this is probably the smallest graveyard I've actually came to yet. And there's just so many different angles and so many different possibilities. You could spend all day down here and still find different compositions. See, I've just found another one here. Look at that. Something along those lines, near the trees. Get some trees in there, get some colour in there, get that gravestone in there as the centre point, or the bottom centre point. So I'm going to get that photo and see what I think, but there's so many different options down here. I'll include the photos in the video. See? Now there's one thing I do like, this one here, 1938. I think a lot of these are veterans. But this one here, that's actually held up on bricks, you can actually see underneath it. How long has that actually been like that? And it's probably going to be like that long after I'm gone, and that's a 1920, I believe. 1920. God. Some of these places are amazing, aren't they? I mean, the history, the stories that some of these places could tell. 1864, when they used to make stones like this. 1864 is probably the oldest one I've actually found so far. That one's interesting. I find that very interesting, this one. There's no writing on it anywhere, just... There is writing on it, there is. I can't see any dates, can you? If you can see anything in that, pause the video and tell me. Same with that. This is three different, what looks like three different inscriptions on this one. One that's snapped. Other ones that are on the plinths. There's another one over here. (1925). These two must be together. 1914. Yeah. So there you go. I've got these photos that I'm going to include in the in this edit. What's this? Oh bless. I'm not going, you can see the pictures are fuzzed out there so you can't see them, but somebody's been down and put a photo of whoever these people are. I won't put them on camera, but whoever these people are, they've put a print out and a photo and some sort of poem there. That's beautiful. People like that should be proud of themselves that actually take note. There's another one here, look. Look at that. A Let's take a walk down to the bottom, and I believe there is another graveyard, but I believe it's for animals. Now, considering we're a nation of animal lovers, I wonder if we're allowed to actually go and have a look around there. Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of these poppy sticks and things like that with the cross on them. This guy was 74 years old, all on public display to be proud of. To be proud of. I'll say it again, to be proud of. Well, for marks out of 10 for this one, I'm going to give it a solid 9. It's a beautiful little church, very well kept. Lots of people still coming down and tending to the gravestones, tending to the plots. 1897 to 1934, bless their hearts. And I've got the, massive respect for each and every single person in this graveyard. Like I say, I bet they could tell you some stories if they were still here today. We've already been here and got this photo. There's loads of butterflies around. Stunning. So this is the other one, the other graveyard that's actually next to it. Now, I believe there's some more recent ones in here, but I don't know. Susan. No, this isn't a pet one. I thought this was like a pet cemetery or something like that, but it seems it isn't. Now, there's some more recent ones on here. I don't like to get recent graves on camera for the simple reason these people might still be mourning and things like that. So I do try and show as much respect as I possibly can. But old ones, I mean really old. Talking First, Second World War, back in the 1800s and things like that. They're the ones I find most interesting because of the stories that they may be able to tell you. We'll stay at the back of these and we'll keep the camera facing this way because some of these look quite new. But yeah, I mean, this is a lovely little plot again. There's that at the end there. You've got the all those flowers. Now it seems to me that people are coming down here very, very regularly to replace flowers, to replace ornaments and things like that. But you do get some idiots that want to come and desecrate graves and things like that, and that isn't good. There's a memorial bench here. When was this put here? In memory. 1 second. There you go if you want to read that. Edgar and John Dawson. Rest in peace, guys. But what a lovely little place. Beautiful. I'm going to grab a photo of all this here. I might get into real estate photography, I don't know yet, but with the house in the background there, I think those flowers make that house look beautiful. What do you reckon? Let me know. So you can see where I'm walking and what's actually happening. Just up here there's a new development. There's new developments going on all the time around Melton. And that's going to be for another video. That's going to be a completely different video to what I'm doing now. This is about photography, history and things like that, and see if I can learn anything about the history of some of these places that I actually go. But this is near Mansion Gardens, I believe. There's some horses in this field, some beautiful horses as well. I think I photographed these before and the lady got in contact with me and asked me if I did animal photography. I do all types of photography, not just animals. I'm just taking a walk up here and then we're going to take a quick walk around the golf course and see what's going on. Now, again, it's a Tuesday, the Tuesday market's on. I could have gone downtown and done a hectic video about the shops opening and closing and we've got a new Poundland and blah blah, but sometimes you need to relax and you need to stop that. So I'm starting to basically do them types of videos on Saturdays and Sundays, if there's anything to do on a Sunday, and these types of video during the week. It certainly is warm. It It certainly is warm, but watch out for a new video that will be coming up soon in the next month. It's going to be a excuse me, it's going to be a very interesting video, I believe. Let me put myself through here. Little gap in the fence again. Oh. Now what I've got to remember is there's people playing golf. I don't want to get twatted on the head with a golf club, but I think that makes a nice photo because it's hilly with the weeping willow just there. I'll grab a picture as a landscape photo and let me know what you think in the comments. So those two photos that you've just seen, or may have been 3 or 4 photos, those 2, 3, 4, 5 photos that you've just seen bring me very nicely on to the ethics and legalities of photography, and what are they? So first we'll talk about ethics in street photography and things like that, photographing things, people, all that type of thing out in public. Now ethics is basically where do you draw the line at what you actually take a photo of. If somebody had basically been run over, for example, and they were laying there on the floor with all the guts hanging out, I'm not going to run along and take a photo of that because that person will be in extreme distress. I know I would be. And you just don't do it. I'm not going to stand outside of a children's playground taking photos of children, although both of those are completely legal in Great Britain, and there's nothing anybody could do apart from call your names and probably end up getting arrested themselves for being violent or whatever. But in my opinion, they would have a right to do that. Just my opinion. Now, legalities. You are allowed to photograph anything you can see from a public space. So for example, I could stand outside your house photographing in your front room window, and there would be absolutely nothing you could do about it. If I did it over and over and over again for about 6 months, I would consider that stalking, wouldn't you? But it's still not right. If somebody was stood outside my living room window with a camera taking photos, the first thing I'd be doing is going out and saying, excuse me mate, can you tell me what you're doing please? And I'd be quite interested as to what he was actually doing. Wouldn't we all? But taking photos in town of people passing by, going about their daily business and everything else is not covered by GDPR. GDPR is for companies, limited companies that hold data on other individuals. For example, if you go into Morrison's, you're caught on camera, you have a right to access that footage or them photos. If they take a photo of you on their own phone, so say the security guard, that's covered by GDPR. They cannot refuse you. Well, they can, but it would be classed as not the done thing, I'll put it that way. But what I'm going to be doing now is taking some photos in these woods, in the wooded areas. I want to get some photos of some trees. It's the middle of, well, near enough the middle of summer. And I think it's quite fitting that I get some photos of some trees and stuff like that as well. Maybe this big gap in the trees there, I don't know. I'll find a spot. There's a guy over there looking for his golf ball. Or is he having a piss? No, he's looking for his golf ball. You never know. You never know nowadays, do you? But yeah, this is quite a large golf course. It's quite nice. I'm going to stand back and get some photos, and then I'm going to take a walk back up to my scooter and go home. I can see my scooter from here. It's beautiful. Oh. I'm just having a sit down and a drink of water. I've just literally stopped next to this tree to get some water down me. Oh, that's better, much better. But yeah, I could have gone into town today and I could have done a load of photography in town, street photography, which is my chosen genre of photography. It's the one that I think I'm best at. But before that, I used to do landscape photography and portraiture photography and things like that, weddings, family shoots, all that sort of thing. But I got bored with it. Now, I'm not saying once you've seen one family, you've seen them all. What I'm saying is, once you've got a family of a couple with 3 kids and you've taken photos of them and they're happy with them, and then you do another one and another one and another, it gets very monotonous. And it's very much the same with weddings and stuff like that. although I never had any complaints at all of my wedding photographs. There was one shoot that I actually did down here during Christmas, and it was a free photo shoot from a competition that I'd done online. And basically what happened was I didn't take the auto exposure off of my camera. It was a rookie mistake. I hadn't been doing these sorts of shoots very long, and the frigging photos were absolutely awful. They were horrendous. And believe it or not, it was actually me that contacted the person that won the photo shoot and said, look, we're going to have to redo the photo shoot because I'm not happy with these photos. They were horrendous. They were absolutely horrendous. We do take shit photos. All photographers take shit photos. But you hear about people saying, well, you've got to go on the rule of thirds, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do the other. You ain't got to do anything. What you've got to do is enjoy it. Enjoy taking the photos. Enjoy your time out in the wild. On a lovely sunny day like today, or even if you prefer the rain, the snow, whatever it is you prefer. Take photos, do some photography, edit the photos. It does wonders for your mental health. And I've just found another photo that, as I turned around, it was right behind me. Right there. But without this big gap just here. I don't want that big gap there. What I want is that. But then there's a big gap there. So about there, I reckon. So I'm going to grab that photo. That's quite uniform, actually. I quite like that. The way the trees go straight off down there into like a... Yeah, let's grab this photo and I'll see you in a minute. So I'm just taking a slow walk back towards my scooter now, and there's dog walkers about, squirrels going up and down the trees, old conkers on the floor from last year. So what do I mean by photography helps me with my mental health? Well, a few years ago, it's a well-known fact that I was an alcoholic, talking 7 to 8 years ago now, and if you're an ADHDer like me, that is not a good thing to be, at all. It's ruined past relationships with family, and it ruined my life at one point. I was at the lowest of the low. I was living in a hostel. I was 15 years homeless, drinking heavily, and not living my full life, not living my best life. And then a particular person, who I won't mention in this video, but this person helped me. A special person that was in my life. It was my, to do with my partner's family, and that person got me my ADHD diagnosis, full diagnosis, got me my autism diagnosis, and then I got my medication, and the day after I quit drinking. And I haven't looked back. I haven't looked back once. I've got my daughter, I've got my wife, I've got my home, I've got my photography, I've got my life back. So for anybody out there that thinks that life seems useless sometimes, life just seems to throw shit at you, 9 times out of 10, it isn't life, it's the way you're perceiving it. It's the way you're looking at it and reacting around people. You create situations around you. Me getting drunk all the time and acting a complete and utter plonker did absolutely nothing for anybody want to even have anything to do with me. Now, I get shit for different reasons now. I get shit for doing photography, but if they think they're going to be able to take that away from me when it is very important to my mental health, they can think again. It is not going to happen. It will never happen. I will always take photos out in public. Now, if you watch my videos, and I know they chop and change a lot. That's just my erratic behaviour because of my ADHD. Photography is one of the only things that makes me focus. It allows me to focus on something for them a couple of minutes, maybe an hour or two sometimes, and it relaxes me, it makes me feel better because I've been able to concentrate on something for a change. I go into something called hyperfocus. Now, if you don't know what hyperfocus is, that means anybody can be shouting anything at me whilst I'm taking a photo and I do not hear them. Now, that isn't chosen, that's just something that happens. I can't explain it. I've learned to deal with my ADHD and autism without medication now. I don't take any form of medication whatsoever. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I'm more or less teetotal. The only thing I do take is Sleuth, which is those nicotine pouches that you put on the inside of your lip, and I'm down to 5 milligram. I started out at 60. So if you want to quit something that's no good for your life, it's extremely possible, but it is down to you, and you've got to want to do it. I want to end this on a good note. Take a look at the scenery and just give photography a chance and see whether it can do the same for you as it's done for me. It changed my life along with my wife and my wife's family. It made me realise not all is bad. In fact, you know, life's pretty goddamn good really, isn't it? This has been Street Switch Photography. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Go and hit the notification bell. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video, which may be tomorrow, it may be Saturday, I don't know, I'll see how I feel. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go home and get some dinner before my kid gets home from school. We've got to have dinner cooked and everything, haven't we? We're having macaroni cheese tonight, one of my favourites. And I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of this sunny weather before it gets too hot to go out. Big love. Chat to you soon. Bye for now.